Reviewing NHL games of November 26th, 2018. Welcome. Let's get to the board. There was 5 games on today, all of them early. They all happened about around the same time. First off, we have Washington Capitals beat the New York Islanders 4-1. Some side notes here. Wilson came into this game with 9 points in 7 games, and he had he came into this game with 4. He left the game with 10 points in eight games, and with goals in 4 straight games, 5 in total. And on a lighter note for New York Islanders, Barry Trotz got his Stanley Cup ring today. It was big. First period. Islanders get on the board first. Filppula gets his 7th of the year, assisted by Pulock and Komarov. And then the rest is all Washington. Washington ties it up in the first. Wilson gets his 5th of the year, assisted by Backstrom and Bowie. Second period, Washington goes ahead 2-1. Dowd gets his 3rd of the season, assisted by Jaskin and Carlson. More of that depth scoring Washington keeps on putting forward. Third period, Wilson scores again, gets his 2nd of the game, now his 6th of the season. I think I made a little mistake in my notation earlier in the game. In any case, Wilson gets his 6th of the season. It's now 3-1. Washington, he gets it on the power play, assisted by Backstrom, who gets his 2nd point of the game, and Eller. And then finally we have Ovechkin, who scores his 18th of the season to make it 4-1, assisted by Wilson, who gets 3 points in this game, and Backstrom, who gets 3 points as well in this game. I know what I did with the points there. I didn't take in part Wilson's assist. Yeah. And his extra goal. It wasn't just one goal, it was 2 goals. In any case, Washington was 1 for 2 on the power play. Islanders are 0 for 4. Holtby makes 32 of 33 saves. Greiss makes 20 of 23. Washington is now 14-7-3 with 31 points. They're on a roll. Islanders are 12-9-2 with 26 points. Next up, the Florida Panthers beat the New Jersey Devils 4-3 in overtime. This was a fun one. I'm warning you. Quick notation here on behalf of the Devils. They're playing this game on the road, and they are 2-9 going into this game on the road. That's the worst in the NHL. I remember years ago when they used to be road warriors. Maybe that was back in the early 2000s. In any case, first period, no goals. Second period, Jersey opens it up. Wood gets his 2nd of the game. Vatanen and Yakovlev, there we go, get the assist. Devils then go up 2-0. Coleman gets his 8th of the game, short-handed off of a giveaway of Barkov. Now, mind you, which is rare because he's known as a 200-foot centerman who plays well defensively. But that's okay because he makes up for it. Because he scores on the power play for Florida to make it 2-1, assisted by Dadonov and Huberdeau. Florida then ties it up. McCann, who's kind of sliding into that second-line center spot now that Trocheck is injured, gets his 4th of the season, assisted by Uyghur. In the third period, New Jersey takes back the lead. Bratt gets his 2nd of the season, assisted by Vatanen, who gets his 2nd point of the game, and Hall. Then Florida evens it up again. Huberdeau gets his 2nd point of the game, his 5th goal of the season, and assisted by Barkov and Dadonov. Basically, with the same line that scored the first goal, just mixed their names around. In overtime, Hoffman gets his 12th of the year. He can't stop scoring. I know his record was broken, but still. And Huberdeau gets an assist, his third point on the evening, and Ekblad gets the other assist. Jersey is now 0-2 on the power play. Florida's 1-4. Kincaid saves 30 of 34 shots. Reimer 29 of 32. Jersey's now 9-10-4 with 22 points. They pick up a point in the overtime loss. And Florida's 9-9-4 with 22. They're 500 again. On goes the roller coaster. Next game up, the New York Rangers beat the Ottawa Senators 4-2. Do I have any notes on that one? No. So let's start with a scoring. The Rangers open it up. Stahl gets his first of the year, assisted by Zibanejad and Fast. Ottawa ties it up. Stone gets his 10th of the season, assisted by White and Tkachuk. Second period, no goals. Third, Rangers go up 2-1. Anderson gets his first goal of the season, assisted by Strome. Strome, who was just recently traded, who came from Calgary for, I'm trying to think of the player's name, and it's not coming to my head. You can let me know in the comment section unless it pops in there before we finish the video. In any case, Rangers then go ahead 3-1. Kreider gets his 13th of the season, assisted by Scheidel and Hayes. And then Ottawa won't go down with a fight here. They make it 3-2. Stone gets his second of the game, 11th of the year, assisted by Tkachuk, who gets his second point of the night, and Duchesne to make it 3-2, and then Rangers put it away on a goal by Zibanejad, who gets his 8th of the season. Ottawa goes over 2 on the power play. New York Rangers go 0-4. Anderson saves 29 of 32. Lundqvist saves 29 of 31. He's getting close to Terry Sawchuk's record, I believe. I believe that's one of the things. I think he's like 5 or 6 games away from being, I want to say number 6 or 7th spot for most wins by a goalie. But yeah, he's close. Next up, the record for Ottawa is now 9-12-3 with 21 points. Rangers, it's 13-10-2 with 28. Next up, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets beat the Detroit Red Wings in a smorgasbord of goalage. Let's see, what kind of side notes do I have here to start the game? Going into the game, Panarin, of all people, had a 12-game goalless drought going in. But he had 8 assists in that span. Same more than a team. And in this game, he did get his 19th assist at one point, which was 7 more than any of his other teammates. So he's still a great playmaker. I mean, he did this off the board pass to Dubois, somewhere in here. Dubois, yeah, okay. It was one of the last goals, the second last Columbus goal, which was off the backboards behind the goalie, because he saw Dubois skating ahead of the defenseman, breaking past the defenseman, and so Panarin shot it, past them, hit the boards, came back to Dubois, potted it, a beautiful goal. In any case, scoring. It's going to be a long one. All right, Columbus gets on the board first. Dubois gets his 11th of the season, assisted by Panarin and Atkinson. Columbus then goes ahead 2-0. Anderson gets his 11th of the season, assisted by Jenner. Columbus then goes up 3-0. Looks like Detroit is nowhere to be seen in the first period, because Panarin gets his second point of the night. It's now 3-0 Columbus. That's his 6th of the season on the power play, assisted by Werenski and Anderson, who gets his second point of the night. Second period now. Detroit wakes up. Nyquist gets his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by DeKeyser and Mantha. Columbus says, no you don't. They get their, they make it 4-1 now. Nudi Vara gets his 3rd of the season, assisted by Murray and Hannikainen. And then they go up 5-1. Jenner gets his fifth of the season, second point of the night, assisted by Murray, who gets his second point of the night, and Foligno. And so we're at 5-1. Detroit says no, we're gonna fight for this, and they make it 5-2. Green gets a second of the season, unassisted. Then they make it 5-3. Detroit gets another goal by Chalowski, who gets his fourth of the year on the power play by Nielsen and Vanek. So we're going into the third period. It's 5-3, and there's still 4 goals to. Wow, I'm tired. All right. So Detroit then makes it. Wow. Then makes it. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 5-3. Makes it 5-4. Manta gets his 8th of the season, his second point of the game from Larkin and Nielsen, who gets his second point of the game. So it's not 5-4, but Columbus then makes it 6-4 on a questionable goal. Was that the questionable goal? Or maybe it was the one, maybe it was this one that Jenner had. In any case, I lost my train of thought here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so they make it 6-4. Dubois gets his 12th of the season, assisted by and his second goal of the night. I missed that. So that's 2 goals for Dubois so far in this game, assisted by Savard and Panarin, who now has 3 points on the night. Detroit makes it 6-5. We're still going here. Don't fall asleep on me yet. This is exciting. There's a lot of goals. Don't sleep. Manta gets his 3rd point of the night. His second goal of the night as well. 9th of the season, assisted by Daly and Chalowski, who gets his 2nd point of the night. And then Jones tops it off to make it 7-5. Gets his 3rd of the season, assisted by Dubois, who now finishes with 3 points on the night. That last goal was an empty netter. Columbus is 1 for 4 in the power play. Detroit's 1 for 3. Bobrovsky saves 27 of 32. Not really a lot of shots, just a lot of goals. A lot of holes in the goalies. And on the Detroit side of things, the goaltenders were split. I believe Howard started the night, and he saved 13 of 16, and Bernier came in and saved 12 of 15. They both let in 3 goals. Columbus is now 14-8-2 with 30 points. They've been very good of late. They're right up there. I think they're, I want to say, top 6 or 7 or so in the league right now. And Detroit falls to 10-11-3 with 23 points. Last game up here. What do we have to talk about? Some side notes. Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Boston Bruins 4-2. By the end of this game, Marner now leads the league with 24 prime assists. Ranta, I believe, has the lead, but Marner has 24 prime assists. That's unbelievable. Anderson faced 18 shots in the second period. Leafs just kind of half disappeared. Even though they scored 2 goals, they stopped skating in the second period. And Boston, of course, has just been injury plagued for a while now. They were without Chara, without Bergeron, without McAvoy, without Carlo, and Miller left in the first period because he was hit in the throat with a puck, and he went to the hospital. So Bruins were playing with 5 defensemen for most of the game. Starting off in the first period, Dermott, one of the Leafs' left-hand defensemen, who will probably slide into Gardner's spot next year. I'm pretty sure the Leafs will let Gardner. I doubt they'll trade him during the season, but he'll probably walk because they won't be able to afford him by the time they pay Nylander and Matthews and Marner. So I'm pretty certain Dermott has been playing fantastically. He's going to slide right into Gardner's spot next season. In any case, that was assisted by Marner, so it's 1-0 going in second. And then Pastrnak scores on the power play because who else? He's the only one who scores against Toronto in buckets. He loves to to play Toronto. Pasta gets his 18th of the season. Assisted by Marchand and Krug. Toronto then goes ahead 2-1. Oziganov gets his first goal of the season. That's the player that they signed from the KHL, and this is his first season with the Maple Leafs. A right shot defenseman. That's assisted by Marner, who gets his second point of the evening, and Gauthier. Pasta then scores again, gets his second of the evening, his 19th of the year. I believe he's now tied for Laine with the league lead in goals. Assisted by Krug and Marchand, who also get their second points of the night. Then on a power play, the Leafs take the lead for good. 3-2. That's the game-winning goal. Levo gets his fourth of the year on the power play, who's been playing quite well. And he plays on the fourth line. Toronto's fourth line might be the best in the NHL right now. Assisted by Ennis and Marlowe. In the third period, Toronto gets the empty netter. Hyman gets his fourth of the game. He's had like 3 goals in the past 3 games or something as well. He's the one who digs pucks out of the corners for Marner and Tavares. And he's assisted by Tavares and Marner. Marner now has 3 points on the night, as I mentioned in the notes earlier on. Toronto goes 1-for-1 on the power play. Boston 1-for-2. Not a lot of penalties in this game, obviously. Anderson saves 38 of 40 shots. It was funny because, to me, he didn't look like he was that confident in net, but he still managed to save all those shots. Halak, was 27 for 30. Toronto's now 17-8-0 with 34 points. I believe they're 1 point behind the first place teams, which are the Lightning and the Nashville Predators, if I'm not mistaken, who did not play tonight. And then Boston is now 13-7-4 with 30 points, which isn't bad considering they're missing almost their entire defense core and their first line center. Marchand and Pasta, besides this game, haven't been putting up anywhere near the same kind of points without him. FYI. The games that are on tomorrow, on Tuesday, November 27th, 2018, there's 10 of them. We'll start with San Jose Sharks versus the Buffalo Sabres. The Ottawa Senators versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Ottawa plays back-to-back here. Carolina Hurricanes versus the Montreal Canadiens. Anaheim Ducks versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Colorado Avalanche versus the Nashville Predators. Arizona Coyotes versus the Minnesota Wild. Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Winnipeg Jets. Vegas Golden Knights versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Dallas Stars versus the Edmonton Oilers. And the LA Kings versus the Vancouver Canucks. That's a sort of a rematch because they had just played them Sunday. So, maybe and LA won that game. So hopefully Vancouver will come into that one a little hungrier. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on tonight's video. And if you like this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, just smash that subscribe button. I've just been doing this about a month. It would really help. And if you have any Hockey Geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.